Hello.
Welcome back.
Episode 8.
And it's spooky season.
Which we love.
Our outfits.
OTD.
OTD. This is from TJ Maxx.
We love. This a guy got for me, and then we stopped talking about a couple weeks later. I sent it, and I was like, should I get this? Yeah, and he was like, don't get it, I'll get it for you, which that's kind of what I thought was gonna happen. And then we stopped talking, but it's Hello Kitty and like the different Halloween things.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about something really scary.
So scary. Men
dating.
Ooh.
Icks, red flags, because let's be honest, I'm sorry, we're giving the people what they want.
And y'all like hearing us talk about our dating lives. So.
Men and women both like it. And it just is there's a lot. So
there's a lot to unpack here.
So much to unpack. But we are going to be talking about horror, dating stories, red flags, icks, whatever. Just things that scare us.
Yes. All right. So some of these might be controversial. Some might be widely agreed upon.
And as always, we don't really care. Thanks for the engagement.
That was good. All right. So red flag number 1 or ick number 1. When they follow nothing but women on Instagram.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Are you trying to talk to all of us? All 900 of these girls?
And certain... I for sure judge based on our mutuals. Yeah. I'm just judging on the mutuals. If there are certain mutuals, I have follow-up questions.
Many.
I have follow-up questions. And vice versa. Sometimes I had matched with this one guy, and then when we moved to Instagram, I was like, oof. I'm our mutuals that we have, I knew a lot of his friends, and it just, I was like, I'm just gonna remove myself from here, actually. Yeah.
The jump from the dating apps to Instagram is crazy, especially
it's scary,
especially when your only mutuals are single women.
Wait, I have a horror story for real. I don't even think I told you.
What?
So when I went to LA, how I had kind of matched with someone. Did I tell you what happened?
No.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't even tell you because so much other stuff happened on that trip. But so I had matched with this guy on Raya, and it was okay, I wasn't totally, I'm sorry, brosif, it was giving creepy photography, come to my studio, and I was like, ner it was the we can chill and drink at my studio and I can show you my stuff, and I was like, actually we can go to dinner in public,
right?
Whatever. So that was already kind of scary.
That's studio dungeon.
You're still where is the studio? Is there lighting? Is it locked once you're inside? What happens? So that was already kind of but he was legit. He had a fault, a decent whatever, but I was still just something, I don't like that. So I'm trying to work past it. We're talking a little bit more. I think we're kind of in the clear. Then I look at his Instagram, I click on it to see, and I was like, oh, we had a mutual friend of mine who's a girl who I'm friends with. So I reached out to her and I was just like, hey, what do you know about this person? And she said I don't know much, but what I do know, fine. But she said I don't know much though. So I'm not saying yes or no, just from the capacity that I know this person, fine. And we were sending voice notes back, and he just kind of kept pushing and asked for my number, and I was definitely not giving you my number, we can keep it in the app, whatever. And I just kind of mentioned, because I at this point was kind of considering just unmatching, but I was just whatever. So I had said in a voice note oh, I saw that we had this mutual, she said that you're really cool, so okay, maybe I will make time to see you, because at this point I was really no, but I said it, I don't know how I said it. when I tell you this person freaked out, I don't like my business being out there, blah, blah, blah.
No.
I break bread with this person. But first of all, break bread. Boy, what the?
Is
what?
this church?
I don't even, what are you talking about? And like, it was weird. This person freaked out. And he was like, I just think that's so weirdo. Like, I don't like, I'm like, there's nothing to tell. No one told business.
Right.
I said we matched. Should I possibly meet up with this person who's giving me creepy vibes? Like, I'm just trying to get a cosign that you're not like a killer.
Yeah, literally.
And you got mad about that? Like, it'd be different.
Suspicious.
Super weird. It gets crazier.
No.
So, this is literally, we're like rising to the peak of the story. So I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, I responded back, doubling down. Like, I don't think that's weird. I don't think you know what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah.
If I see a friend that's a girl who knows you, like, I'm gonna ask. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, shaming me and making it seem like I'm out here. I am not like a name dropper exposing names and what we do or whatever. So I unmatched him, right? Unmatched. Like, I'm not even, he sent one more thing doubling down on how I'm a weirdo and he just doesn't like his business out there, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's so cool. Unmatched, right? I go about my time, but he knew the time I was like coming to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, Gaby, remember how I touched down then went to Disney? I check my Instagram. He's DM me. Oh, I see you made it. He found my Instagram. I mean, like, he probably saw it.
I see you
He responded, oh, I see you made it to my city. Welcome. You really did just like touch down and went to Disney. Gave me his number. Hey, my love, blah, blah, blah. I sent a screenshot to the mutual friend. She's like, block. Instantly blocked. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
After you told me I'm a weirdo, you think
Yeah.
I'm going to go text you?
Also, we're women. Like, we should be doing our due diligence.
Like, yes. Like, we have to. Like, we literally, for our safety, have to. And if I already was kind of getting weird vibes that you're inviting me to your, like, studio, and I'm just, and then found my Instagram.
Ooh.
So that was a horror story.
Red flag. Nothing
red
but
flag.
flags.
Yeah, everything about that was a red flag.
Ooh,
I had to block him on Instagram because I was like, how do you have my Instagram?
Yeah.
Ew.
No.
Hi, my love. My love. You call me a weirdo. Am I a weirdo or my love? Like, what is it? So anyways, yeah. So that's starting strong with that.
You know, at least he is in a different state.
Oh, yeah.
My least favorite thing is the fact that my exes are in the same state as me, in the same city.
And like vicinity, yeah.
And Chicago is so small.
Chicago's so small.
I think moving forward, I should only talk to guys in a different state.
Girl, you know I be on that.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's like, is the joke on me that I be going to different states and it still doesn't like work.
Keeps things exciting.
It does keep things exciting. And it's like, I like that whole, like, I don't know you don't me.
Yeah.
We have no mutuals. Like all that like icky red flag stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's just clear. We don't know anything. Like we're just fresh slate. Like it doesn't, they don't know my exes. I don't know theirs. If they were to say someone's name, I'd be like, who's that? You know, like there's just nothing.
Yeah. I think that leads me to my next red flag is like wanting to jump into things way too quickly. Like almost love bombing.
Yeah.
Like not even giving me a chance to breathe. Like you want to spend every waking second together.
Like why?
No.
Because like what's wrong with you? Do you need housing?
Codependent.
Like codependency.
And trust me, I have been codependent and I regret those times because it's not healthy at all.
Yeah.
But if you're like just starting out and you want to spend
and you're looking for
every waking second together, like you need to work on yourself. Oh, a guy and a girl that jumps from relationship to relationship to relationship.
How do you even do that? I've been single for 3 years. Like, how do you even do that?
I would mesh them all together. Like I would forget things. Like details about people because
that reminds me, I think we've talked about this before. I love that, like, are we dating the same guy, like, Facebook group, even though I'm like a lurker. I'm a lurker on there. Like, I never post anything or respond, but I love watching them. And this girl recently, because it's just crazy to see what other people go through, and this is like in Chicago, this girl posted this screenshot and she was like, am I crazy or what? Because she was having a conversation about something else. Then randomly he like listed his like favorites like he sent, and it clearly I think was like meant for another conversation, because he was like, oh, noted, and these are mine, and then he listed stuff, and she was like an anonymous poster, and she was like, I've been talking to this person, like we said we were exclusive, so like if we're not, and he's lying. And people in the comments were like, hell yeah, like that was meant for like someone else, because it was like, okay, and my favorite is like M&M's, and he was like listing his, and I was just like, oh, like that. If someone did that to me after we are talking about, and girl, the way he gaslit her, I was just reminding you of my favorites. So out of nowhere you just send me a text of like, this is my favorite candy, when they're having a conversation about something completely different.
He's talking to like 10 girls at once.
100%. So like that for me would be, and it's funny seeing other women's like perspective, because obviously there's not a right or wrong answer to anything, but some people were like, I think I would just keep that like noted in the back of my head, and other people are like, cut off, done, whatever. And I have to agree, like I'm with that. Like that would be a no for me.
Oh, I was a victim of being one of the several girls that this one guy was talking to at the same time, and I
did you know at the time?
So I got a feeling, because when I was with him, like he would always keep his phone down on do not disturb, and then one time I was hanging out with him, and it was like some girl's name was calling him, and he immediately shut it and turned it over.
Oh wait, I know who you're talking about.
I'm like, okay, sus. And there was another time where I think like we were hanging out at his house. I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, he was like, yeah, I gotta go. Come to find out, I have mutuals with one of the other girls that he's seeing at the same time, and yeah, he was playing both of us. Well, no,
I think it was more than both.
I think I was the only one getting played.
No, I think but it was more than just two.
But I'm like, I felt like I was doing charity work, because I'm the kind of person, like, I can look past appearances, and
same.
Like, if you have a really good personality, if you can make me laugh, like I'm just like a sucker for that. And so I really, like, I was not attracted to this man at all. But I was forcing myself, because we had good kikis and we would hee hee ha ha all the time. And then come to find out, this ugly dude is talking to multiple girls. I'm like, this is why you can't give the ugly ones a chance, because when you do, it gets to their heads.
No, literally, it is so I feel like too, I'm always defending the people, because okay, so my dad is shorter than my mom. Aww. So like for me that was normal, you know, to like short king spring, short king 24/7, whatever. I'm used to that. And my mom wears heels, like whatever. But I know for a lot of people, like women like taller men, like they want. So I always get dragged for like dating people that have been like shorter than me. And like I recently showed my friend last night, actually, just that was this guy who I kind of just started talking to a little bit, and she was like, you love the short dudes. I was like, I don't even try to. Like, it's just that I guess for me, I won't not talk to someone because they're short. Yeah. So it's just like, whatever. Yeah. And like, I hate when guys like, well, in their bios are just like 6'5", just so God. You know, like, you know, like, okay. 6'5" and giving like lights are on and no one is home. Like, I would rather have some lights on than 6'5".
Yes, I used to be a short king ambassador. I really did. All of my exes were like the same eye level.
Not the ambassador.
But since then I have moved on. I need you to be at least 5'10", because the short dudes.
5'10"?
Is that short?
No, I still think that's like tall. I mean, like you want them to be like taller than you.
Yes, now I do, because I've been there, done that with the short guys.
You have done. You've given your years.
So there was one time where years, by the way. There was one time where I ran into my ex, and like we didn't end on good terms, and I was wearing heels. I was like, "What's up, shorty?"
Did you look him dead ass in his eyes?
I did, and I know that crushed him.
That's so, what's up, shorty? Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me, but it bothers me that it bothers other people. Like, I'm like, why are you guys like...
And it's always also the shortest women that are like 6 feet and over only. Like, girl, you're 4 feet tall. Like, really?
Literally,
it does not matter
unless you're so short that I'm like looking up, like,
or you have to lean down.
Yeah, or like, oh my gosh, I saw this funny TikTok of like, it was like a taller, it was a couple where the woman was taller, and it was like poses to do with like your short king. And like different pose options. That's like helpful. And one of them was like having like your leg like out, so it kind of is like angled, so like you look a little lower. It was so funny.
Put a little bend in
yeah
your knee.
Put a little bend, a little sorority squat to it. Like, oh my gosh.
No, but we love you short kings.
Yeah, love short kings. Okay, but so now getting back, that was like a little love moment. Okay, getting back to icks. Oh, okay. This is gonna be like, I'm just gonna drop it. Body counts. Because remember that came up, remember that brunch that we had at like Parlor Pizza one time?
Yes.
Were you there when we were talking about body counts with the guy who came towards the end? I think you guys like or were you there a little bit?
I don't remember.
Well, basically body counts were brought up, and basically whatever, we don't need to get into the nitty gritty of it, but what I don't like is that men think it's okay for them to have a lot, but that women can't.
Yeah.
Because didn't that come up on some like Love Island thing too?
Yes, it did. I was just thinking of that.
Like, how come men get to have crazy body counts, but you're still wholesome and nice, and like you want your wife to be like Virgin
Pure.
Mary who can cook? Oh, okay. Sorry, now I'm ping ponging. Other red flag, like if you don't know how to cook, if you don't know how to do my oil, like if you offer no service to me. Like, I want my next boyfriend to be, like, a mechanic.
No, literally.
Or, like, a tattoo artist.
An engineer.
A chef. Well, actually, just kidding. I've done too many chefs. But I did get some good meals. But you know what I mean? Like, if you can't offer me a service and you're not good to help me change my light bulb or something, or help me out with things around the house, what are you good for? And I say that just because you guys have the same energy with us.
Yeah.
Oh, like, remember when I went to Five Below and I got that Hello Kitty slime in like a noodle cup, and I was like, next dude who asked me, can you cook? Like, I'm sending him this video. Because like, what type of question is that? Like, yes, I know how to feed myself, and I hope you do too.
And I think like men who live on their own, like that's so important, because that tells me you can take care of yourself and survive without your mama. Oh, the silence.
Yeah. It's a lot of men who don't know how to take care.
Clean, throw out the garbage, vacuum.
But like, okay, so sorry, back to the body count thing though. Like, how come only you guys get to have sex with a lot? And like, also too, I am far from, like, I am very much like sexual as long as you're healthy and there is consent and it's safe, like, do whatever. There is no like right or wrong. I don't think there's a number where it's like, oh, that's too much, that's a bad like, I don't look at, like, I look at, I guess, sexual relations in like a holistic way, you know? So it's like, but how come with men it's like shame for women, but like men can do whatever? Because
I see it as like, if you have a high number, I would rather have you get that out of your system now. And like once we're together, like you want to settle down. And the same thing for women. Like, I feel like guys should have the same perspective. Like, okay, they got that out of their system. Everyone should have a hoe phase. I truly believe that. So have that hoe phase, and it shouldn't matter, because also when you meet someone, like, let's say two people meet at 31, you guys have lived a whole life of not knowing each other. Like,
you think you're gonna meet me at 31 and like I haven't lived?
You've been locked away in a castle, like
literally waiting for someone to ask my dad if they can marry me.
Be so for real.
Is this like Shrek? That's like literally what I think. Fiona, literally. Like, you're treating me like I'm Fiona.
No, yeah.
Which, like, Lord Farquaad was a Shrek King.
He had that bob. That bob was
that bob. Okay. Anyways.
Red flag. I have one.
Okay.
When they don't prioritize their relationships outside of like your romantic relationship, like if they're cool with never hanging out or even talking to their friends, not spending like quality time with their family, that is such a red flag. Because again,
you should encourage that in each other. Like, maintain your relationships, babe.
Number one, it shows me that you're not codependent on me. But then also, like, you have your own relationships and you have your own life.
And that's a priority. Like, that should still be important to you.
Yes. Yeah. I dated this guy who didn't talk to his sister for, like, over a year and a half because they got in a stupid fight at a club, like, over some...
At a
something
club?
stupid. I'm like, can you please talk to your sister? Like, you're missing out on your nephew's life now because you have like a petty grudge
over like a bottle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't have. This was the craziest part. This guy didn't even know his stepdad's last name. It bothered me so bad. I was like, can you check the mail? Like, you don't even know this guy who you live with because you still live with your mom. You don't even know his last name.
That's why you said check the mail. I was like, check the mail. Oh, it's because he lives in that house. Yeah, I do. And because I think too, like, that just goes into like priorities of like what's important to us. And it's like, if that's not important to you, like, to me, that is a red flag. And I guess, you know, like, maybe to someone else that's not a red flag, but like, no, to me it is.
Yeah, because that shows like when you get married, you don't want to have his side of the family just being two people.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, if you have a small family, just because that you have a small family, but if you have a family and you're just not like talking to them because like you're being like petty or something, like, that's weird.
I have a small family and I still see like my aunt, my parents almost every week.
Yeah, no, family is definitely important to me. And like, I have been in like relationships, or I say relationship like generally, or like I've been in two actual dating where like, I don't know, like, if while I was with that person, I noticed myself kind of drawing back from my family or relationships, I was like, this is a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
This is a red flag. Because, like, we're too, it's that infatuation, like, lust, like, whatever.
The honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase. Yeah. Ooh, but you know what's, like, a red flag is, like, when you, and I guess, like, when you see it in your friends, like, horror-fying is when, like, they just met someone, you lose them. Gone, lost in the sauce, because never see that friend to be heard of again.
They're locked away in this dude's room,
literally. And then too, when they come out of hiding and it's like only to tell you bad stuff, and I'm like, haven't you been with this person for a month? Like, how, first of all, I haven't seen you, and like, and then it's bad already. Like, when you don't have a honeymoon phase, I'm also concerned. Like, how do you barely know each other and all you're doing is fighting already?
That's definitely a friendship red flag. Like, if they abandon their friendship with you as soon as they start talking to a new guy.
Yeah, and you know, it's so funny because
you're not a good friend.
I saw this TikTok, like, I think like this morning or something, and it was like a girl uploaded it, and it was like, when everyone complains that you're always with him, but this is how it feels when you're with him, and it was some like magic. Okay, like, that's cute and all, but also, and like, I feel like, I guess I can speak on this in the sense of like my parents. Like, I see what my parents have had to go through being together for almost 40 years. Damn. You need more than just like loving each other. You know, like, you need support, you need friendship, you need like, you need a support system. Like, it's not just like hee hee ha ha lovey. And I think that was something that, I don't think we've ever talked about this on the podcast, but I know we have talked about it. I grew up like slightly delulu about my parents. Like, I thought that, like, I was like, I'm just gonna meet someone and we're gonna fall in love and it's gonna be perfect because my parents are perfect. And like, if we ever have any issues, like, F them, because like my parents have no issues. And then my world came like crashing down when I started like having serious relationships. And my mom kind of like, you know, I would talk to my mom and she was like, Sophia, like, I think you're being a little like not realistic. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's gonna be like perfect. And she was like, I'm sorry if I did. And she even said like almost like a disservice to you, where like we didn't show you any of the hard times, but like, it's hard. And like, like, there were times where like, just your commitment to the partnership is like more important than like seeing past like issues or whatever, and like leaning on my aunts or uncles or their friends at work or whatever, you know, like, because it's hard. Like, you need more than just like hee hee ha ha to be with someone for like decades.
Yes. And you also need your own like individual life, your individuality. Like, you need to know who you are separate from that relationship too. Yeah.
And they both have like, whether it's, my mom like volunteers at animal shelters, riding motorcycles, hobbies. They travel. Sometimes they'll spend time just like themselves, just with us, like whatever. But it's like, I don't know, like, when I see TikToks like that, I'm like, I know you're trying to like justify why you only spend time with that person alone, but like that long term is not enough.
Not healthy.
No.
I think that's why my last relationship crashed and burned so quickly, because I wanted nothing besides like spending time with that person. But it's because I was so insecure in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like I constantly needed reassurance that he wasn't giving me. So I was constantly wanting like more of him.
Which like,
that's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's toxic.
And that's also what's hard. Like, I feel like I want to say this because this is kind of more serious, but like, I know Gabby and I get on here and like talk shit about like men, or like, we don't like this or we don't like that. Yeah. But also, please do not for a second think that I also don't self-analyze like in therapy about things that I do that I don't like, or I'm like, it's not always a man's fault. Like, why did I put up with that for so long? Or like, why did I let him do that to me and I stayed? Or like, whatever. Like, it very much goes both ways. It's just that, you know, I don't need to share that with you because that's like a boundary. But like, just know, you know, that like we also like know that relationships do take two. So for as much as we talk about all these like shitty relationships or whatever things, like we're also like, girl, why did we put up with that? Or like, why did we do that? Or why did we whatever?
Like, I always speak about how a woman should act in a relationship or what a healthy relationship looks like. I know that I haven't been that way in previous relationships,
but that's how you learn.
Exactly.
Like, you literally learn. Or like that, like you said, like I also have been in a thing where it was codependent, and then I was like, and now that is a boundary I have when I like meet people and I'm like, I never only want to be with you. Like, it will still be very much important, and I would need support from you and vice versa. Like, I'll give it to you of maintaining friendships, like doing your things, like your hobbies, like whatever. Like that goes like both ways.
Yeah. No. That
snaps. Also, okay, other horror story, like red flag thing.
Yes.
When someone directly looks you in your eyes and say that they want something, and then like a week later they turn around and they're like, just kidding, I don't want that. And you're like, what the hell?
Like, what just happened?
What just happened? And I recently had a conversation with someone, and it's so funny because he did at first say something. He was worried about like, oh, I don't know, something. He was like, haha, something about I don't want to be on the potty. And I was like, whatever. And then you go around and actually say something crazy that will get you on the potty. He was saying, I don't know what he was saying. And I was like, not impressed, whatever. And he's like, well, I could have just ghosted you. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much that you're just not ghosting me. Oh my gosh. This really half-assed, not thought through conversation where you're not being intentional with your words or anything. Thank you so much. This is so much better than being ghosted, threatened from you.
Peace out, block. We'll never talk again.
Literally.
Actually, let me ghost you and make it easy for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
That actually reminds me, I was ghosted by a grown-ass man, a 30-year-old. Tell me why I was ghosted because I told him that I wanted good morning texts. I just wanted him to text me first.
I remember this.
Because obviously, like, we're not hanging out every day. So, and his job started early in the morning. All I wanted was a good morning text. And that was asking for too much. So I was
to the point where it was ghosted. It wasn't even like, I can't give you that, which would also be literally crazy to say. But to just go to ghosting. But you want to know what?
Thank you for doing that, actually, because that says more about you than it does about me.
Okay, this is going to be like, I know some people like this stuff in a toxic way and some people don't. And I feel like this is like, I think technically it is a red flag. But what do you think about people who find other ways to contact you via LinkedIn or like via emails, fake phone numbers? Is that obviously it reaches a point where it is like not okay sometimes. And it's like scary and like not healthy and like whatever, stalking sometimes. But when it's just that initial like unblock me Pookie or whatever, like, is that a red flag?
I think it shows you're determined and dedicated, but there's a time limit.
Yeah.
Like, it can't pass a few months.
Like, if you're doing this month later, that's scary.
Yes. Do you want to know something
Or when they send like a Venmo or something.
Oh my God.
What?
This is so funny. I dated this guy in my senior year of college. My freshman year of college, I broke up with him and I blocked him on everything, and I sent him this really long email. Guys, he responded to the email 7 years later. Or 6. He responded to my email 6 years later. It was like during COVID. I was cleaning out my designer girl email, and
Designer Girl 101.
I saw his name, and I was like, whoa. He wrote me back a paragraph because I wrote him an essay, and he was like, thank you so much for being vulnerable with me. I know this is a little late, blah, blah, blah.
A little late? Boy, it's almost a decade.
Why would you even respond at this point? Like, keep it
Wait,
pushing.
that's like
Weird. But yeah, he never contacted me again because he didn't get a response.
Like what?
Don't be that guy.
That's the craziest. Hey, just saw this now. Like,
hey, just seeing this 9 years later.
That is so crazy. But oh wait, when we were talking, it reminded me. Oh, follow-up story. Okay, so this literally, genuinely, I'm not even joking, like, happened to my friend. Our freshman year, we lived in the same dorm, and there was everyone was like, oh, he's gonna be a big NBA player, and he literally now is one of the biggest NBA players, like, for real. Like, whoa. I'm not gonna say his name here, but I'll tell you guys, but he's literally one of the biggest, like, legitimately. So he came over to her dorm, whatever, he slept over, and this was in like 2011. So this is still when like gift cards are like a big, like, now gift cards are all like online, but there were still like hard copy gift cards, and her parents sent her a care package because our freshman year, like, we're in college, so they sent her an iTunes like gift card because people, like, you know, downloaded music before, to like Target and like Walmart or something, like little gift cards. This man stole her gift cards.
Bro, what?
He stole her gift cards, and it was and it's just funny because then when he started blowing up and he started hanging out with like Kylie Jenner, like in like King Kylie era, yes, he started hanging, like, when he got drafted and stuff. And I remember one time she sent me a picture of him with Kylie Jenner, and she was like, that man owes me.
He owes me $15 in iTunes.
But that is a red flag. If you come over and you steal from me, that is crazy.
That's so low.
Like, that from a girl is crazy. But also, I do find those memes funny where it's like, if you invite me over to your house on the first date and you don't even know me, like, I'm stealing something from you because you shouldn't let people come over to your house when you don't know them. Like, Stranger girls danger. Who like tweet or whatever, those videos always crack me up.
That's so funny. That's really messed up.
I know, and it's funny because he's literally worth like millions of dollars.
She should like slide in his DMs and be like, hey, can I get that Walmart gift card?
Literally, like, remember me freshman year, our dorm was like Dogwood or something it was called, like, and you stole my family's care package.
So funny.
Yeah.
But well, nothing but red flags in the male population.
Yeah.
Like,
everywhere.
Dodging
bullets right and left.
Super spooky.
We're out at war. Super spooky. Literally, it's spooky, the spookiest.
And scary.
That's how I feel like when my family like asks me how things are. Spooky and scary. That's going to be my response now. Hey, Soph, how's dating? Spooky.
Scary.
Scary.
You don't even want to know.
Scary, spooky, just no.
No. And if you're dressing up as a couple together this year on Halloween, make it original, please.
Please. Also, I will finish with this. This is a kind of bigger thing to drop. Unless you are sharing an engagement, wedding, or like a baby, please stop collaborating on posts on Instagram. Who am I following? You, her, them? Like, I don't need a collaboration post because you guys like had a picnic.
Or an
Save that for major wedding, engagement, baby. Like, major things. Just to like share your love. You don't need to collaborate on an Instagram post. Tag them. Like, what? I don't know. I'm like a hater of couples collaborating posts on Instagram. Like, that's a red flag to me.
I am so glad collaborations didn't exist when I was like in high school.
Oh, you would have been collaborating.
Every post a collab.
Gabby would have been collabing all her posts with her little. Remember the picture when you guys were like, yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you. Happy spooky season. Nothing is scarier than being single in 2024. And if you are also, we are with you, spooky girls.
Yes.
See you in our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.